Hi, my name is Violinist, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also a proud Phoenix Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am thrilled to be speaking with acclaimed violinist, producer, performer, ASHER LAUB. For more on ASHER, you can read more about him right below this video, but in the meantime, here is a sneak peek at the incredible talent of ASHER. ASHER, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Oh, well, ASHER LAUB, I'm doing so much better now that not only did the audience get a little sneak peek of your new tune, Gratitude, but on top of that, ASHER, you are not only an incredible violinist, you are a producer, which I know you're very proud of, and we will get into that. And you are also just a consummate performer. And I want to know, well, I do know, just based on my research, that you picked up the violin at 3 and you had like such success as a kid playing with the Buffalo Philharmonic at 13. I mean, hello, how did you get into the instrument of the violin?
Well, my mother claims that I chose it. I guess we'd have to go back and check the video footage.
I know.
It doesn't exist. I'm pretty sure she chose it, but I guess we should actually ask my older brother, who he's about 6-7 years older, and he was playing violin when I was 3. So it could be that, you know, I pointed to him and said, "Hey, I want to play the violin," to my mom, and she started me on the box violin, the margarine box, which was the only thing small enough for my little fingers at the time.
Aw, well, I love it. Well, obviously you were encouraged by your family, which is so good to hear. Tell me about your experience playing with the Buffalo Philharmonic at such a young age. How did that all come about?
Oh, well, that was not a regular residence by any means. It was a performance, but it was something that was a big deal for somebody as young as myself, and sort of marked this milestone in my non-career at the time, which turned into a career. By the time I got into college, it was a little overwhelming at first, and then it was like a burst of energy after the fact, after the concert, and I just felt like, wow, I want some more of this.
I love that. Well, listen, ASHER, you not only after college continued on your journey, but you have done so many amazing different concerts, whether it's at Madison Square Garden, you've performed at the Hammerstein Hall, you've performed at, the Javits Center, you have been featured on CNN, NBC, ABC. I'm curious to know.
Most recently, PBS.
Well, excusez-moi.
Who cares?
I was giving you a dramatic beat. I was, reeling you in. But on top
I don't have a big ego, folks out there who are watching this right now. I'm very much grounded, just so you know.
No, look you say it in your song, and I get that from you pre-interview. You are a very humble person of the planet, but obviously born with just more than just one talent, because in addition to your violin playing, for those who have seen you, and those who will get to see you live once this whole mess is over, you not only play violin, but you also are like just a consummate entertainer. You are known to not only play, but then break out and dance. Tell me about that.
I don't know what got into me. It could have been a traumatic event that happened about 6 years ago, where I pretty much developed an unfortunate state of adrenal insufficiency. Too long of a story to explain. And having gotten out of that, I just had this new found love and appreciation for life, and for not really caring about what people think of me. And I kind of wanted to go unconventional in a way that I never had, and I wanted to enjoy life in a way that I never had or never anticipating being able to. So I guess that's part of it. I can't really explain why I got into it's a feeling. It's a feeling that when I get up on stage, it's a high energy situation, and the music that I play, a lot of it is high energy. I want to just like become part of the music with them. And dancers do it. Why can't musicians? And I've noticed that there are a number of musicians that do it as well. And there's just something, somewhat of a more intense feeling for me, having gone through the episode that I did years ago.
Wow.
So.
Well, first off, thank you for sharing that, Asher. And obviously, to be an artist who's as vulnerable as you, it makes you that much more relatable, because when you sharing your story, and in you being an unapologetic artist that you aren't just standing up there like what most people might think of a violinist, someone a part of an orchestra that sits in a seat and reads its music, does its job, and clocks out. Thank you, union, bye bye. But what you are doing is you are acting as a vessel, and you obviously were dealt with some cards, but you made it into a win for yourself, because you're not only doing this for yourself, but those young Ashers out there who may have been dealt a hand that they weren't anticipating, to live unapologetically in an authenticity and singularity is something that's very inspirational.
Thank you so much for your kind words, Will. I just played for about 5,000, well, not 5,000, I would say maybe about 1,000 young Ashers on Wednesday for an event with the Children's Center in New Jersey, for kids who have gone through much more difficult challenges in terms of disabilities than myself. What I went through is pales in comparison, and I only hope that I've been able to inspire them, and I hope to do the same with many more.
Well, Asher, I also can sense from you that the little kid in you has never been dimmed. You have a childlike essence about you.
I do.
Well,
I do. You would never guess I have 2 kids.
Plus the lighting. No, I'm just kidding. But no, in all seriousness, you have a childlike wonder about you. And I think that probably does transcend, right? When you get into a situation when you're on the stage and you have to improv. Where does that come from, you think?
Maybe wanting to re-explore my childhood. It was a challenging childhood. It's not like I didn't have it. I'm not like a Michael Jackson situation, but there is the wanting to re-engage with the youthfulness that I enjoyed prior to college, where we're talking years of intense study in university. So just wanting to re-engage with that youth of mine again after that episode. I think a lot of the trauma 6 years ago has contributed to my just love and appreciation for and also just having kids. There's so much that I learned from them. Having a 20-month-year-old and a 9-year-old. It's just it's inspiring for me as an adult to see. Levi and yeah.
I love it. Wow. Well, listen, Asher, you're an inspiring artist. You're an inspiring person. And this obviously has been a horrible time for all humans, especially artists. Yeah. I'm curious to know how your North Star in why you do what you do has maybe become a little bit more clear. I mean, obviously you went into it, but I'm also curious to know the type of music that you want to continue to put out there. I mean, obviously maybe we got a sneak peek of it with your songs.
The Gratitude,
that we've gotten to see.
So yeah, Gratitude is more of a mid-tempo melodic tune. So the direction that I'm taking, it is evolving. So I can't say that I have the clearest vision, and I'm not rigid in my direction because I do have to respond to the fans who support me in many respects. However, my preference is more towards, crossover contemporary violin music that merges with electronic genres. So if you look at songs like Neon Dreams on my Spotify, Deezer, whatever, and then Dreaming Awake, which will be released in probably the next week. Probably the biggest commercial that any of my music has been associated with. So stay tuned for that. That song pretty much marks my direction for the future. Again, pending approval from the fans.
I love that. Well, look at, I'm so excited to see what comes next for you, but would you mind gracing myself and everyone watching with a little bit of a tune of yours?
Yeah, if you want to hang around for a minute, well, I'll just plug in and get a tune.
Well, Asher, thanks to the magic of editing, you are all set up and you're going to grace us with a little bit of your amazing song, Neon Dreams. Asher LAUB, it has been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. And I just want to remind our audience, for more on the incredible Asher LAUB, you can read more about him right below this video. Asher, take it away, my friend.
All right.
Amazing. Asher LAUB, everybody.
In the digital age, artists and bands struggle to make a living. In fact, only a small number of artists can live off their craft. For the 98% of artists that don't have the luxury of being signed to a label, it's tough. But artists deserve to live off their art. Wherever you are around the world, appreciation of music does not change. FENIX brings bands and their fans together, whilst allowing bands to properly monetize their passion. The FENIX app will directly connect bands and fans with no need for middlemen. We're utilizing the blockchain to give the power back to the artist once and for all. Join FENIX, join the change.